You know, when Bill Maher decides to turn his spotlight on someone, it's about to get very, very real. And this time, Whoopi Goldberg found herself directly in Maher's crosshairs. If Goldberg thought she was safe from criticism inside her Hollywood bubble, she was dead wrong. Bill Maher didn't just challenge her, he calmly dismantled every woke talking point she clings to, leaving her and the entire woke establishment completely stunned. Whoopi's latest misfire. It started with Whoopi Goldberg making bold claims about policing and economic issues affecting Black Americans on The View. Goldberg argued passionately about defunding the police, suggesting the real problem facing Black communities was systemic racism in law enforcement, not crime itself. According to Goldberg, focusing on job creation or public safety was just another distraction from addressing systemic injustice. She dismissed critics of woke policies as ignorant and insensitive, accusing them of downplaying real racial issues. But Bill Maher wasn't buying it. And neither were millions of working-class Americans who actually live these realities every day. Maher steps into the ring. Maher wasted no time confronting Goldberg's talking points head-on. On his show, Real Time, he took apart her arguments piece by piece, emphasizing a simple but powerful truth. Goldberg and her woke peers are profoundly out of touch with the actual needs and concerns of the communities they claim to champion. "Whoopi, you're so disconnected," Maher said, staring directly into the camera. "You talk about defunding the police and prioritizing ideological purity over safety. But ask the average working-class Black family what they care about most. They'll tell you it's safety, stability, and having a good job, not your latest woke agenda item." Maher's delivery was calm and collected, which only made his critique more devastating. It wasn't an emotional rant. It was a measured, logical takedown, backed by facts and reality. Exactly what the woke movement struggles to handle. Maher exposes the hypocrisy on policing. But Maher wasn't finished yet. He took Whoopi's defund the police argument and completely exposed its hypocrisy. Whoopi and her woke Hollywood friends all call for defunding the police, Maher pointed out. But how many armed guards protect their gated communities? The people advocating the loudest for abolishing police departments have private security, safe neighborhoods, and walls around their mansions. Maher didn't shout. He didn't wave his arms. He simply presented the obvious hypocrisy, and it landed harder than any angry rant ever could. Economic reality check. Then Maher shifted focus to economics, directly calling out Goldberg's claims about job creation being a distraction. Whoopi thinks jobs are a side issue, but here's the truth. Jobs aren't ideological. Jobs put food on the table, keep families together, and create stable communities. For working-class Americans, Black, white, or brown, economic security is priority number 1, 2, and 3. Ideology doesn't pay the bills, jobs do. His point resonated because Maher spoke plainly, without political spin. He reminded viewers of a fundamental truth the woke establishment ignores. Practical issues outweigh ideological debates for most Americans. Selective outrage, the Hunter Biden example. Maher then brilliantly highlighted the woke left's selective outrage, particularly around the Hunter Biden scandal. Whoopi Goldberg and her friends lose their minds over every Trump tweet, every conservative misstep, but mention Hunter Biden's shady business deals, and suddenly it's nothing to see here. Isn't accountability supposed to matter? Isn't that your entire platform, holding power accountable? He leaned back, clearly enjoying how uncomfortable this must have been for woke viewers. Or is accountability only important when it's convenient? Maher's rhetorical question hung in the air, a devastating blow to woke hypocrisy. The media's role in silencing real issues. Next, Maher pointed out something crucial: the mainstream media's complicity in silencing conversations that don't fit their narrative. Whoopi Goldberg is not alone in her bubble, Maher explained. She lives in a media echo chamber that consistently ignores or trivializes legitimate concerns of working Americans. If an issue doesn't fit the woke narrative, the mainstream media downplays it or pretends it doesn't exist. Maher underscored that real conversations are being sidelined in favor of ideological purity, leaving real issues unresolved and ignored. Karma and political reality. And then came the most insightful and perhaps most controversial point Maher made all evening. He addressed the woke narrative of karma in politics, arguing it's deeply flawed. Woke Hollywood loves to talk about karma. Every time a political opponent has a misstep, it's karma. But the truth is, life is random. Good things happen to bad people, and bad things happen to good people. Karma isn't a political tool, it's a comforting myth. He leaned forward, his tone serious. Whoopi, there's no cosmic force ensuring your political rivals fail. Politics isn't karma. It's strategy, debate, and compromise. Wishing for karmic justice won't fix the problems you claim to care about. Whoopi's stunned silence. Maher's critique landed with brutal efficiency. Hollywood insiders later revealed Goldberg was genuinely shocked by Maher's calm, thorough takedown. For once, her confidence in her narrative was rattled. Privately, sources from The View suggested Goldberg was furious, but also deeply unsettled. She had never been challenged so effectively, especially by someone she assumed shared at least some ideological overlap with her. But Maher's blistering honesty cut deeper precisely because it wasn't from a conservative pundit. It was from a fellow liberal who refused to play along with woke hypocrisy. Social media explodes in support of Maher. Social media erupted with reactions, mostly supportive of Maher's honest commentary. Viewers who'd grown tired of woke lectures applauded his clear-eyed critique of Goldberg's hypocrisy. Comments flooded online platforms. Bill Maher just said everything we've been thinking, finally. Whoopi Goldberg just got hit with reality, and it was long overdue. Thank you, Bill Maher, for saying what so many of us feel. Ideology doesn't feed our families. People across the political spectrum appreciated Maher's willingness to call out his own side, something increasingly rare in modern media. The bigger picture, woke culture on notice. Maher's takedown wasn't just about Whoopi Goldberg. It was a clear signal to woke culture as a whole. The days of unchecked, unquestioned narratives are ending. Audiences, exhausted by performative outrage and ideological purity tests, resonated deeply with Maher's honest call for realism, accountability, and genuine dialogue. He reminded everyone, left and right, that honest discourse matters more than scoring political points. Whoopi Goldberg might have been his target, but his message extended far beyond her What's next for Goldberg and woke Hollywood? Goldberg's stunned reaction signals a deeper crisis for woke Hollywood. As audiences increasingly turn away from preachy celebrity activism, Hollywood faces a stark choice: adapt and engage honestly with working-class issues, or become increasingly irrelevant. Goldberg herself now faces uncomfortable scrutiny. Can she adapt her perspective, or will she double down and risk alienating even more viewers? If she chooses to ignore Maher's pointed criticisms, she'll risk losing relevance entirely. But admitting Maher was right might be too bitter a pill for Goldberg and woke Hollywood elites to swallow. Goldberg's bubble bursts, why Hollywood lost touch. Maher didn't just take aim at Goldberg. He tackled the larger issue behind her views: Hollywood's detachment from the real world. For years, celebrities like Whoopi Goldberg have comfortably advocated policies from luxurious homes, never confronting the practical effects of their own suggestions. Maher highlighted this disconnect, noting sarcastically, Whoopi and her Hollywood pals spend more time lecturing ordinary Americans from mansions than actually talking to them on their front porches. Maybe step outside your gated community, Whoopi, and find out what people really care about. This jab resonated because people are increasingly tired of celebrities preaching about issues they don't experience firsthand. Maher's warning to liberals, losing the working class. Bill Maher wasn't just criticizing Whoopi, he delivered an urgent warning to the left. Keep ignoring working-class priorities, and you'll lose voters for generations. Whoopi Goldberg believes the woke agenda wins votes. But ask the working-class voter, black, white, Latino, what keeps them awake at night? It isn't gender pronouns or academic theories on privilege. It's crime, rent, grocery bills, and gas prices. Ignoring this reality is political suicide. Maher clearly sees this as an existential threat to liberal politics. By focusing on woke issues at the expense of real economic and social concerns, liberals risk permanently alienating a large portion of the American electorate, exposing media hypocrisy on real-life tragedies. Maher took his critique deeper, calling out the mainstream media's selective outrage when it comes to real tragedies facing communities of color. He pointed out how tragedies that align neatly with woke narratives receive wall-to-wall coverage while everyday struggles go completely ignored. Whoopi, if Black lives really matter to you, why do you overlook the thousands of lives lost every year to violence in Chicago, Baltimore, and Detroit? Is it because those tragedies don't fit neatly into your woke script? Or is the reality just too uncomfortable? Maher's questions left Goldberg and mainstream media figures no place to hide. The double standard he exposed wasn't just obvious, it was morally indefensible. Rejecting the simplistic narrative, life isn't a Hollywood script. Perhaps Maher's strongest point was his rejection of simplistic, woke narratives. Goldberg often frames complex social and economic problems as purely ideological battles. Good versus evil, oppressor versus victim. But Maher offered a brutal reality check. Life isn't a Hollywood script, Whoopi. Good guys don't always win, bad guys don't always lose. Problems don't disappear because you scream at them. Real change requires difficult conversations and messy solutions, not virtue-signaling Instagram posts. This dismantled the woke worldview completely, leaving Goldberg exposed as someone who prioritizes moral posturing over practical solutions. The broader consequence, a wake-up call for America. Ultimately, Maher's takedown wasn't just about Whoopi Goldberg. It was a powerful call to action for America to move beyond woke polarization and start having honest, practical conversations again. He urged viewers to demand real debates about real solutions, not empty slogans and ideological purity tests. Maher's message resonated precisely because it transcended politics. It reminded viewers that beneath partisan divides are shared human concerns about safety, economic stability, and fairness. Whoopi Goldberg may have been shocked, but for millions of Americans, Bill Maher's clear-headed critique offered something they hadn't seen in a long time: hope that real conversations are still possible in America. Honesty wins out. In calmly and decisively dismantling Whoopi Goldberg's woke arguments, Bill Maher sent a clear message. Americans crave honesty, realism, and genuine dialogue. They're tired of ideological games, selective outrage, and woke hypocrisy. Whoopi Goldberg may have been shocked, but for millions watching at home, Maher's message was loud and clear and exactly what they needed to hear. For woke Hollywood, this moment is a wake-up call. For Goldberg herself, it might just be the reality check she desperately needs.